Now, so we have understood this part, that is the gametes, how the gametes, and again, so this was also the gamete united to form the organisms, and from the organisms again we got the gametes. Now in the chromosome, let's take the red chromosome. The red chromosome, here there is the presence of a gene, that is here. I am talking about this gene. This gene is present here also and it is here also. Both of these genes are responsible, let us take, for the flower color. Flower color. Okay, this gene. Now in the father this was present. The pattern was AATC GG TAT GG. Okay, this was the protein which was responsible for the flower. In this case, the flower, that means the stamen, the gene that the pollen grain has brought, is having this protein. Okay. Now let us take another, the stigma. The stigma also, or the egg cell, has its own nucleus, and the nucleus is also having another series. Maybe it is A, T, and then T, C, G, G, T, A, T, A, G, G. Clear? So the entire thing is nearly same. There is only one change, but still from here to till here, it is still coding for a protein. It is a different protein, no doubt, but that protein is again responsible for the flower color. Is it clear? If both these parts would have been same, instead of writing so much, we are giving a alphabet. We have seen if both these things are same, so what happens? It may be dominant, the color of the flower is violet. So what is happening here? Here, one of them violet, it is capital V, and here it is small v. It is white. So this is white, or maybe this is the color of the flower, and here it is violet or purple, and here it is the white. Why? Because there is some change in the flower color. Now the dominant we have seen, but overall it has the gene of the white, but overall the flower is purple in color. The flower is purple. So it means one of the gene is dominant over the other gene. Is it clear? So first thing that we have understood is what is a gene. Gene is a basic, it is a basic unit of any character. It is a basic unit of any character. And every gene will have two or more forms which is known as allele. Now what was here? This was one allele and this was the other allele. Is it clear? Now coming to homozygous condition. The homozygous, if both the chromosomes had the same protein, then we would have written it as either, let's take this to be capital V, capital V. Instead of writing this entire line, we are just representing this by the letter V. Here we are representing this by the letter small v. So homozygous means, or it may also have both small v, or it may be both small b. This also would have been there were chances that this could have been small b. So in this case, the flower color would be purple, and in this case it is white. So it is homozygous. Homozygous means same. Both the chromosomes are having the same genes. Heterozygous. Heterozygous is a condition where one is dominant and the other is recessive. Now we have already studied what is a dominant character and what is a recessive. Like for example here I told you from the sperm came the dominant, that is the purple color. From the egg from the egg cell came the white. The purple was dominant over the white gene. So what is happening? But the white one was not able to express itself. That is why it is called as a recessive gene. Heterozygous, now you have understood, it is either a combination of a dominant and a recessive gene. Coming to phenotype. What is phenotype? It is the morphology of a character. That means whatever we are seeing from outside. That when we are talking about tall, we are just looking at the plant and we are saying this is a tall plant. The pea plant is dwarf. That means its height is less. The flower color, the color of the seed, the color of the pod. So all these things we are seeing just from outside. So morphology, the other term in genetics, it is the phenotype. What is genotype? Now the morphology, when we are talking about a purple flower or a violet flower, what is the gene present? A violet flower may be homozygous or it may be heterozygous. So this is the genotype. When we are talking about a purple flower, a genotype gives us an idea of the type of genes, whether it is homozygous or heterozygous, and this type is called the genotype. Coming to a cross. What is a cross? Cross is between the two parents. It may be self-pollination or cross-pollination. So this is actually, you can write, it is a breeding. What is filial? Filial, or in short it is written as F. So these are the parents. This is written as parent generation. The parents are giving birth to offspring. So this is an offspring. The first offspring is known as F1. So this is written as F1. And when these offsprings, the gametes are again, they are self-pollinated, then the plant that we are going to, the seed that will be produced from that plant and the new plant that is going to come, that will be called as F2 generation. So it is one generation after the other which is called as filial generation. P represents the parent. The first progeny is said to be F1. The second progeny is known as F2 or the second generation. Now selfing. Selfing is self-pollination. It means self-pollination. Clear? Now pure line. Pure line, we have to remember, this is always homozygous. Homozygous. So it may be dominant or it may be recessive. That is, either it may be VB or it may be small b or small b. So this is a pure line. How is a pure line obtained? Suppose a plant which is a pure line is taken, a tall plant. We know that a tall is dominant and it is again crossed with another tall plant. So the next generation will be all tall. Again, those next generation offsprings are allowed to self-pollinate. All the next generations or the third generation that I am talking about, all of them will be tall. So this is continuously done for at least 5 to 7 generations. If we see that all the plants that we are getting are tall, then only we can say that we have obtained a pure line. If suppose in the 4th generation or in the 5th generation we get even one dwarf, then we have to keep on doing more until and unless we get a pure line. That means a homozygous condition, homozygous recessive or homozygous dominant. What is a monohybrid? It's very important, remember, mono. Mono means one. When you are observing only one character and you are seeing what changes are happening in that character in a cross. So a parent, you have taken the entire pea plant, but your observation is regarding only one character. I told you character or a trait here, it means height of the plant, the flower, the color of the flower, the color of the seed, the shape of the seed. There are 7 characters and all those characters, only one character is taken. So it is taking only one character. Similarly, in a dihybrid cross, when 2 characters are considered, for example, I might take a tall plant with violet flowers and I am crossing it with a dwarf plant with white flowers. So I have taken 2 characters. One is tallness, another is the color of the flower. So that is why it is di. This di stands for 2 characters. One is tallness, another is the color of the flower. So these are some of the points. Please try to understand. Only then you will be able to understand that question and then solve the monohybrids and the dihybrid crosses.